I'm going to show you how to save 4 hours every single day, which is essentially reclaiming 300 hours back into your life in the next year just by shifting how you manage your daily tasks. From this day forward, you are no longer going to create to-do lists. I'm instead going to show you a productivity hack that is going to save you 4 hours every single day. All right. Now, what I've noticed is a lot of people don't even realize what they're doing wrong when it comes to to-do lists. So I'm going to first point out what you are doing wrong, and then we're going to get into what you need to be doing that is correct in order to save those 4 hours every single day. Welcome to the Fire Inside podcast, a podcast for ambitious women who want to get all they desire done in their lifetime without burning out. I'm your host, Sade Kelly, high performance coach, wife, and mom who's on a mission to help high achieving ambitious women just like you reclaim 10 or more hours every single week so that they can grow their career, their business, stay consistent, and do more of what matters most to them without the overwhelm, without the stress, okay? Because I believe that every woman can have it all. We just need to figure out how to make it work in your day. So, when it comes to to-do lists, what I've seen is they're always the starting point for a lot of productive people, or at least people who believe they're productive, but instead they've just been hustling and burning themselves out every single day and thinking that's how they're going to get to achieve their goals when it's not. Okay. So what I've seen with to-do lists is a lot of people have these long, chaotic, crazy unorganized lists that are like 90 items long. No lie, I've had multiple clients come to me and say, this is my to-do list, Sade. And I mean, these lists have been like pages in a notebook. And this is all the things I want to achieve. How can I possibly get through this list? This list is ever growing. It never ends. I don't know how to get on top of it. I'm always behind. If that is you, you need this episode, all right? Because what I've noticed is why you guys have those lists is because first, you don't know how to prioritize. And second, you think this is what you're supposed to be doing because somebody along the line, sometime in your life, whether in college, in elementary school, in your adult career, or wherever, you've been told, hey, just write out a list, write everything down. And once you have it written down, you'll get through it. That is not the case. You can write things down till you're blue in the face. And while I love that you write things down, or even if you type things out, whatever it is, that doesn't mean you're going to actually see success in the way that you want and that you're going to get through the things you have on your list. Because what people don't realize is the mistake they're making is they're not organizing this list. They have these lists all over the place. I mean, I've seen it. People have like 50 Post-its. They have 20 different planners that they tried. They have a bunch of different notebooks. They've tried Trello. They've tried ClickUp. They've tried Sunsama. They've tried Notion, they've tried OneNote, they've tried Google Tasks, like they've tried all these different things and they have tasks all these different places and they don't know how to actually organize the tasks all into one place, how to make the list more efficient, how to actually know what their capacity is and when they can get certain things done and when they need to get things done. These are all issues with prioritization. And that is why your to-do list does not work. So we're going to let go of this list because it's chaotic, it's overwhelming, it's never ending. And your mindset is that you don't know how to achieve things in a timely manner. You just have to get through things as they come and you're just all over the place. You don't actually believe you can be productive in the way that you want. But those are all lies. And what you're going to start doing instead is first, you're going to use your to-do list as a brain dump. So I'm not telling you to get rid of your long, crazy to-do list. No, I'm telling you that your to-do list is going to now be considered a brain dump. So I need you to shift your mindset around that. To-do lists are now my brain dump. To-do list is my place where I write everything out. I get it all out, whether it's for the next month, for the next day, or the next week. I really like to look at to-do lists on the next week's time frame, but if you have to do it for a larger time frame, that's fine too. But you're now going to look at your to-do list as just a big brain dump. And not only are you going to look at it as a big brain dump, you're going to keep it in one central place. Now, if you struggle with keeping it in one central place for work, business, your personal life, then you can have for your main categories one central place for each category. But I would recommend, if you can, have it all in one place. I have one notebook where I write everything down. And how I do it is this is my weekly brain dump, aka what used to be a to-do list. And I write out every single category that I have for my list. And the categories typically for me are personal and business. That's it. Pretty simple. That's how I do everything. But you can figure out where your top like 2-3 categories. Don't have like a million categories, just have a couple. And then I write out every single thing for the next week. So let's say it's the week of December 1st. Go ahead and write out everything for that next week that you need to get done, which you usually would do in a to-do list. But this is just going to be a brain dump. This is just your first iteration of this list. After you have that all done, I want you to then go in and write out the due dates for everything. And if there are things that do not have due dates, that is fine. We'll figure out where those things will go. But the things that have to have due dates, write them next to it. So if it's like, I need to submit this project by December 3rd, I need to do this return by December 6th. Whatever it is, write the due date. And this could take you a little bit of time, but as you do this more and more often, you'll get through it quicker. A lot of times with clients, they're always like, this takes me so long. I don't want to do this whole process. And I'm like, yeah, the first time you do it, it may take you an hour or two, or maybe even 3. But think about it. Instead of taking 45 minutes to an hour or even hours out of your day to do this, or things go disarray because you haven't done this, you're saving a lot of time. You're not wasting those hours that you were wasting before. This is going to help you save a lot more time because you're no longer need to be thinking about what comes next. You're no longer going to need to be stressed about what comes next because you're going to know what's going to come next and what to prioritize. So after you have the due dates and you have your categories all set out, I want you to then go in and prioritize. So what this looks like is you're going to label things 1 through 4. 1 are the top urgent things. Those are the things you need to do immediately. Like they need to happen before anything else. So you're going to go ahead and do that by due date and by level of importance. So if something is important and urgent, meaning it's tied to your goals, it's advantageous to you, it's very meaningful. And then urgent, meaning it's tied to time. The due date is just sooner than everything else. Then you're going to go ahead and create a 1 next to it. Or some people like to highlight this. If you have highlighters and you like color, like a lot of women I work with, they like to color and do things like make it pretty. You can do that too. So you can either write a 1 or you can make it green, whatever color you choose. Then you're going to write 2s next to the secondary importance things. So these are things that are important, but they may not necessarily be urgent in meaning that they're not need to be done in the next week, right? They can be done next week or within the month. So you're going to write 2s next to those things. Those are the things you're going to schedule later in your week after you've gotten through the 1s, the priority things. And then the third category is the things that are urgent. They're probably tied to time, but they don't necessarily need to be done by you. These are the things where you're going to figure out how you can get those things done during an admin time, during when you have low energy, but you need to get through a bunch of things, or maybe first thing in the morning where you tend to want to get through a bunch of different things and say you checked it off before you do a hard task. It kind of depends on your work style. Or these are going to be the things that you delegate and give to somebody else. So if you have an assistant, or if you want to hire an assistant, or if you have a house manager, or you have people on your team who can do these things, and you've been wondering how you can get more help, these are the type of items that you can start look at and seeing like, okay, I don't need to be the one doing these things. I can create a standard operating procedure for them, give them to somebody else and let them do it for me. Or I can ask someone to help me with these things. These are things that are busy tasks, don't necessarily need to be done by me, or I can try to automate them, use AI, create systems, look at how I can implement things that make me more efficient in these ways. And then the 4, you're going to put a 4 next to things you need to remove. These are things that are not important, not urgent. They don't even need to be on your list. You don't even know why you wrote them down. These are what I like to call like the not to do list. And these sometimes I hold as reminders of things that I've been doing that I don't need to be doing. Like I no longer need to be scrolling, trying to get ideas for content because I don't do that anymore. That's wasting my time. I get distracted, right? Instead, I could just have a day or 2 where I figure out what I want for my content for the next week or the next 2 weeks. And I write those ideas down and then I save it to a folder. And that's the only folder I open when I open Instagram. I don't just open the app, right? So there's certain things I have to remind myself not to do. So you may have things like that. Write them down, write a 4 next to them. Those are things you want to delete or remove from your list. After you have these things prioritized, I want you to sit back and give yourself a little clap on the back, right? Congratulate yourself for getting these things organized and prioritized because you're automatically going to feel so much more calmer once you know that not only do I have this crazy long list, but I have them prioritized and I know what I need to get done from this list. Instead of thinking I need to get everything done on Monday or everything done in the next week, I actually can get these things done over the next month, next 2 months, next quarter, maybe even next year. Now, the next step is you're going to schedule these things in. And this is where people always go wrong. People know about the concept of time blocking. And if you don't, time blocking is essentially what I like to call setting up a meeting for every one of your tasks. So just like you would set up a meeting with your boss or with a client, you would set up a meeting for all of these different tasks. You essentially are giving the task a time to get done. And a lot of people's overwhelm comes from having all these different tasks that they need to get done and what I like to call puzzle pieces, but not having the puzzle together. So essentially you have all these different tasks. You have this long, crazy to-do list. you actually don't have the time capacity you think you do. So that is why you tell yourself, oh, I can get through 20 things on Monday, and then Monday comes and you get through 5 things, because you only had 6 hours to actually get through these tasks on Monday, but for some reason you thought you could get done 20 things in 6 hours, and most likely you couldn't, because you didn't know how long things took for you. And if you struggle with knowing how long things take for you, you need to be time auditing, or you need to be working with a coach who can help you do that. That's exactly what I help clients to do. But what you overall need to be doing is figuring out how much time you're going to give to all your priority ones. So you've labeled these things. One, these are the things that need to happen earlier in the week. And for me, I like to front load my things, and I like to batch my content, I like to batch my themes for my week. So essentially that means like each of my days have different themes of different types of tasks I like to do. So like maybe on Monday, I take coaching calls. On Tuesday, I do content. On Wednesday, I do finance related things. Like you can figure out if you want to do something like that, if that works for your schedule. I have a lot of different ways that I recommend like batching your days depending on the lifestyle that you're in. And I have that lined up in my time management starter kit, which you can find in the show notes, where I go into more depth on that in the training. But essentially what I want you to do is go through those priorities. Number one, and think about, okay, how much time is this going to take me? What day do I need to get this done? So you go through your list, you start picking things out, and you start getting it time blocked into your planner or into your calendar. And you start giving it a time and a place to get it done. So, okay, I have this project, it's due by December 3rd. I'm gonna get it done Monday between 11 and 2 o'clock. And I always say overestimate how much time you need, because if you do it in less time, great, you get time back. If you don't, then you have enough time to actually get that thing done. And if it doesn't happen in the time frame you want it to happen, readjust for the week. So if you need to split it up into 2 hours one day, 2 hours the next day, 2 hours the third day, then do that. It's up to you how you plan that out. But the whole point of this is that you're going to be scheduling in your actual tasks. You're not going to just follow it through a list. You're not going to go, okay, on Monday, here's the list of things I'm going to get done. No, you're now going to enter Monday with a calendar full of, here are the things I'm getting done during the certain time slots. And some people like to put specific times. That's what I would recommend. If you don't like specific times, which doesn't always work depending on your schedule. Like I know for me, sometimes I have to be more fluid because I do take care of my son full time every day. So sometimes I like to say, okay, here's the top things I want to get done in the morning. And there's like 1 or 2 things, and I know they're gonna take me like 30 minutes to an hour. I usually like to do light tasks while he's awake. But then in the afternoon, when I know he's napping, here's when I'm gonna get the top 2 focused tasks that I'm gonna work on. And they're gonna take me about 2 hours or 1 hour, 3 hours max. And then at night, is there anything I need to accomplish in terms of work, or is it just like personal and home related things I need to get done that I can get done in a 30-minute time frame, an hour time frame while he's also awake. So you can think about it in time of day, in specific time frames. You can pick what that looks like. But the whole idea here is that you're taking the prioritized list and you're taking it from to-do list, which we're no longer doing. You're making a prioritized list that you now schedule into your day so you know when you'll get it done. This is the best way to know your capacity, so you know what you can actually accomplish. Because if you can't accomplish it over the next week, then you need to spread it down into the following week or the next week. And the next thing you know, you realize, okay, I can get 20 things done, but maybe I need to get them done in a 14-day time frame. Maybe I need to get them done in a 21-day time frame, or maybe I need to ask for help. And you start to realize what your actual capacity is. And you now have saved 300 hours over the course of a year, just like that. So that is the process to save you 4 hours every single day. And what this looked like practically for one of my clients was, instead of planning for 45 minutes to an hour every single day of her life, she decided, I'm going to start planning just like this, using this process for an hour, hour and a half every single week on a Sunday. And she is now so much more productive every single day. And she now has a great structure for her day, where her morning is so structured that she's gained back 2 hours every single morning before she has to clock into her work to give to her business. And then at night, she's also reclaimed 2 hours because of how structured her day is, where her night routine is, where she's able to pick up business tasks at night and have time to relax or spend time with her family at nighttime. And just like that, by finding 2 hours in the morning and 2 hours in the night, she has gained back 4 hours because of this planning process. She let go of to-do lists. She started making priority lists, scheduling them in, using this process. And now she has saved 300 hours over the last year, achieved 3 times, 4 times, even probably 10 times the things she would have achieved if she didn't do this thing. So if this hasn't inspired you, I really don't know what would, right? Maybe it's actually hiring a coach and having someone walk you through this for yourself, because if it sounds overwhelming on your own, then it may be time to invest in someone like me, a high performance coach who can help you figure out how to reclaim your time so you can finally grow your career and your business and get that wealth and have that health and those really strong relationships that you always wanted to have, but you haven't figured out where that time would go to even invest, even spend the time to even improve these things. This is the first step for a lot of people, is booking a consultation call, in which you can do by clicking that link in the show notes. And what I want you to do moving forward is this process. So I don't care what time of day, what day you're watching this, I want you to start this immediately. If you have not planned for your next week, go ahead and go through this process of writing out your to-do list, aka your brain dump, prioritizing that list based on the numbers 1 through 4 that I talked about. Go ahead and get this scheduled into a physical planner, a digital calendar, or even a tool like Sensama, which is what I use and love, and that link will also be in the show notes. Highly love that tool. It's like the best task manager for me. But figure out where you're going to schedule everything and make sure you are able to track it, hold yourself accountable, and you will save so much time. I promise you, it's going to change your life. If you enjoyed this episode, as always, please go ahead and like, comment, and subscribe to my podcast, as well as share this with 5 friends who you know would benefit, who you know are using to-do lists and they ain't working for them, okay? If you have friends just like that, go ahead and share this episode. This simple framework will help them save so much time. I'll see you guys in the next episode. Take care. Bye.